This video is going to be an update on my red Sea Reefer. We're going to have a quick look at the corals, see how they're doing. Then we're going to go down into the sump and have a look at some of the changes that I've made to help my system run better. I've also got some new equipment as well we'll have a look at. The overall look of the tank is looking much better than it was. A lot of this cyano and ugly algae has now gone. And the changes I've made has definitely helped with this. And I've not added any chemicals to get rid of the cyanobacteria. The mandarin goby doesn't normally come out when I'm filming, it always hides. So I'm just going to get a quick little bit of footage of the mandarin goby. And then we go back to the corals and get down onto the sump and get onto the business end of this video. You can see the colours are still looking really good, and the polyp extension on the strawberry shortcake is still there. It's looking really good. The Pikachu is growing really fast, but it's still not as yellow as I'd like. Okay, onto the sump. You can see the skimmer needs a clean. It's really dirty in there, so I'll do that later. But you can see here I've added a D&D UV sterilizer. It's a 20-watt UV sterilizer. And I've added this just to help with any of the ugly algae and bacterias in the water, and it will help with the water clarity as well. The UV's been on for about a week now, and you can definitely see the quality of the water has changed. Looking from the side on of the tank, it's super clear. I'm just going to clean the skimmer quickly. I'm going to show you how much dirt comes off in a week. This stuff absolutely stinks, and it's pretty thick. It's kind of gravy consistency. Yeah, look at that. These Deltex skimmers are absolutely amazing. The first one I had for over 8 years, and I hardly cleaned the pump. And it didn't even break. I just upgraded it to this one. So this is a weekly task that I do. I jet wash the sump. I basically just siphon some water down into the bottom. You can see how clean my sump is. And I think this helps obviously take any detritus or any bits and pieces that are on the bottom of the tank, or push it through the return and back into the main display. I do have quite a few copepods in my sump on the live rock rubble, so this probably helps push some of those out into the main display as well for my mandarin. Okay, let's talk about parameters. My alkalinity, calcium and magnesium are bang on now, and I'm trying to keep them at these levels. My phosphates and nitrates are still a little high, but they are coming down. And this is from just keeping on top of my weekly maintenance. I do have a video on my weekly maintenance, and that's definitely helping lower my nutrients. I have started monitoring my pH level. At night, it's going down to about 8, and in the midday, it's probably about 8.3, which is perfect. At the moment, it's about 8 o'clock at night, and you can see it's 8.12. I'm not going to chase the pH, I just was a bit curious of what my levels were. This is another change that I've made. I'm now dosing RO water into the tank. I'm doing that 3 litres a day on one of my Versa pumps. This is where I dose into the tank. This is quite a good place because it's really high flow. It goes straight over to the baffle and into a return pump. I have a bit of egg crate resting on here, and the dosing mount sits perfectly in between, and it kind of works quite well. One thing I've not really mentioned before, but I have a second return pump in my sump, and that's controlled by a couple of ball valves which feed my phosphate reactor and my UV sterilizer. I'm just going to turn off the ball valve so I can move the phosphate reactor out of the way. And you can see how I've fitted the UV. You can see I've got another ball valve coming off the return, and that just pushes water around my sump, which helps any detritus from settling on the bottom of the sump. This ball valve is great for adjusting the flow rate through the UV and the phosphate reactor. You can get a perfect amount of flow. I've also got a couple of small ball valves here, which you can sort of isolate each one so you can even tweak it even better. Another small change that I've made is that I've put the moon lighting on. I've done this from 8 till 10, so only a couple of hours, but you can see the polyps at night, they look absolutely amazing. It doesn't catch on the video as well. And you can definitely see if the UV bulb is working at night. You can see I'm getting some nice coralline algae growth on the glass now. All the cyano patches have gone and it's looking a lot cleaner. Looking back at my latest video, how to set up a reef tank, I'm thinking about putting sand back down on the bottom, or maybe some sand in the sump. That worked really well last time, as I don't get a lot of detritus down there, and it's just another way to reduce my nitrates. Let me know in the comments, sand or no sand. A quick look at my other corals that don't get as much love because they're not, well, for me anyway, they're not sticks. I prefer the acroporas. This is a nice Samacora. It's really orange. And then you've got the Raja Rampage. It's beautiful, beautiful chalice. And this one's a jack-o'-lantern. You need to give them both space though, because they do put out stinger tentacles at night and they do sting corals, they will kill them. And a quick look at the gonnies. They're looking really healthy at the moment. They are getting on the big side though. I would like to frag them, but you need a bandsaw to do this. The glitter gonny is looking beautiful. You can see the greens right at the bottom of the base. Thank you for watching. Please like and subscribe, and I'll see you on the next one.